The good news is Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig is going to spend some time with us because of the rain delay. Mr. Commissioner, thank you for stopping by, and a very exciting day here in Kansas City. And I think we've learned, since this was rumored for quite some time, that this is quite a process, awarding an all-star game to a city.
Well, it really is. It's a long process and a complicated one. And as I said here today, I'm thrilled, by the way, to be here and thrilled to be awarding Kansas City the game. I was here in 1973 for the All-Star Game, and with all the renovations and everything that they've done, David Glass was very, very persistent. I'm looking forward to it. And the difference will be, Ryan, that this time around, this is a 5 or 6 day event, fan fest and everything, and this is just a huge event, and I'm really very proud, and I'm sure Kansas City will do very well, and I know they're all looking forward to it already.
We'd heard over the last 4 or 5 years that Mr. Glass was politicking heavily, wasn't he?
I said today it was almost a pain after a while. I don't mind telling you. He was very persistent. And, you know, the interesting part, Paul, 10, 15 years ago, you sort of had to beg a city to take an all-star game. It was a lot of work, and then now we've got them lined up. I have to now start worried about 2013 and 14, and it's amazing. I could today not satisfy everybody and go out to 2020. I mean, it is amazing, the interest, because it's just a great event. But I'll worry about 2013 in a couple of months or so. But I'm delighted. I've been reading about all the rumors the last 5 days, so when I made the announcement today, I knew nobody was going to faint, but people should be very proud, and you're going to bring visitors in from all over. It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Let me ask you, I mean, you brought up a good point right there. What is the downside? What's the possible risk for a town like KC on this?
I don't think there's any risk. Yeah. I mean, I really mean that. I really look forward to all-star games now. They're exciting, all the events that go on. Fan Fest alone, Paul, they'll come from all over to see it. It's getting bigger and bigger, and by 2012, it'll be that. Its economic benefits, I believe, and I said today, are somewhere between $70 and $80 million, because people come from all over, and it'll be remarkable. But more important than the economic benefits, which are enormous, it's a great thing for a franchise, a great thing for baseball in an area. People will remember how they saw this game and the greatest stars from both leagues. So there really is no downside. It'll be a very joyous event, and what it really has become is a celebration of baseball. That's what this really is.
Mr. Commissioner, I remember when I was a kid growing up, there was no interleague play, and the All-Star Game was a game. You know, of course, Pete Rose running over Ray Fosse is a perfect example. And it seems that it's become more of a showcase since then. But you made a decision, and I might be in the minority. I completely agreed with you, where the winner of the All-Star Game gets home field advantage in the World Series. Has that and some other things given the All-Star Game the life that you were hoping to give?
Well, I'll tell you a story about that. The answer is yes. People think the tie in Milwaukee in '02 was it did it. It wasn't. I had been talking to Fox. Paul Beeston, who now runs the Toronto club, was president of Major League Baseball team, had been trying to talk me into it for a year. What I noticed is the game had become not only dull, but people didn't want to play. They were gone in the fourth inning. It was troubling. And I'll tell you a story. It was interesting. I called Ron Santo one day, who hadn't been feeling well. This is a couple of months after the tie, and we talked about a lot of things for an hour. And Ronnie finally said to me, "Can I talk to you about the All-Star Game?" He said, "You know, when we played," he said, "you really wanted to win. It was big. It was a big thing. You really wanted to." And he said, "Now guys are," and we just went on. And this is exactly, of course, what the people at Fox had been telling me. So I took that to heart, and then I talked about a week later to Henry Aaron, who Henry and I have been friends since his Milwaukee days, so it was 52, 53 years now. And we talk a lot, maybe once or twice every week, and he brought it up to me. He said, "You know, how are you doing in the tie? It wasn't your fault." And I don't worry about that. The commissioners are there, and That's what, the fact is that I've talked to Joe Torre in particular a lot about it since then, and Bob Brentley, and they ran out of pitchers, and so there were some weaknesses in the structure. But he said to me, I can't believe it. He says, when I played, it was Roberto, Willie, and me, and you played all 9 innings, and you wanted to play. Mm-hmm. And the more I heard that, I said, we need to do that. Well, in '03, to make a long story short, in Chicago, Hank Blaylock hit a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, which put the American League at 6-5. Every player on both teams on the top step of the dugout. The intensity was unbelievable. I can still remember little Rafael Furcal hitting a long fly ball. I thought, oh my goodness, we're going to have another tie in the 9th inning with 2 outs.
And all cameras on you,
but
right?
Fortunately, yes, I'm afraid that's true. Maglio Ordonez saved me because he caught the ball at the wall. But the intensity has been there, and that's what we tried to do. So, no, I think most of our fans like it today. You'll hear from the people who don't like it, but they don't really have an answer. Look, we have the best All-Star game of all the All-Star games. There's no question about that. Now you've restored the intensity. And by the way, everybody wants to play. Now we have 34 players on a team, so I think we have we built in advantages that we don't have to worry about anything else. But I feel great about where we are.